Welcome to the Serene Gardens of the Forgotten Kings, a soothing and enchanting sleep story designed to guide you into a peaceful slumber. If you enjoy this content and would like to see more like it, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Before we begin our journey into the heart of the ancient Sunken Garden of Atheria, we'll start with a gentle breathing guidance to help you relax and prepare for the story. If you prefer to skip directly to the narrative of the caretakers and the whispering willows, you can find the timestamps for each chapter in the description below. Now, find a comfortable position. Allow your body to settle. Feel your limbs grow heavy and at ease, and let your head rest gently. Adjust your pillows, your blanket, and your surroundings as needed, and find a space just for you. This is your time to set aside the worries and thoughts of the day and let a quiet calm fill you. Allow the soft, tranquil rhythms of Atheria to wash over you as the story of the Sunken Garden and the caretakers invites you to relax deeply. Let's take a calming breath together. Gently inhale through your nose, slowly, comfortably, naturally, and feel the air entering your body. Then exhale slowly and peacefully through your mouth, allowing a gentle sigh of release with each exhale. Feel your body softening and relaxing with each breath. Imagine the sweet scent of lavender in the garden and picture a delicate luminescent flower opening. Visualize the gentle caretakers moving slowly through the pathways, caring for the ancient garden. Let these soft images fill your mind with tranquility. If your mind starts to wander, simply notice it and then gently bring your focus back to the sound of my voice or your breath. There is nothing you need to do right now but listen and allow the story to drift you into a state of peace and rest. Feel the peaceful rhythm of the garden as the sun rises and the moon sets, and feel the cycles of nature and the garden gently carrying you into rest. Let the soft details of the garden, from the whispering willow to the glowing flowers, bring your cares away. Now, let us step into the Sunken Garden of Atheria and begin our quiet journey together. Chapter 1. The Awakening of the Dewdrop. The first blush of dawn painted the sky above Atheria in soft strokes of rose and lavender, the colors mirrored in the delicate petals of the early blooming flora of the Sunken Garden. A gentle mist, still clinging to the valley floor, swirled softly around the ancient stone pathways, creating an ethereal veil that seemed to whisper secrets of the ages. It was in this hushed, dreamlike hour that the caretakers of the garden began their day, their movements as quiet and graceful as the blooming flowers around them. Among the first to stir was Oren, their footsteps barely audible as they moved through the damp grass. They wore a simple robe of faded green, its color echoing the lush foliage that surrounded them. A silver bowl polished to a soft sheen was held carefully in their hands. Their expression was one of serene contemplation, a gentle smile touching their lips as they bent to gather the morning's dew. Each drop was collected with intention, a mindful act performed with a deep understanding of the subtle power that lay within the cycle of life. Sage, their more pragmatic counterpart, soon joined them, their presence as grounding as the ancient stones beneath their feet. They moved with purposeful grace, their focus sharp as they tended to the plants that required their particular care. They held their pruning shears, their movements gentle yet precise as they cleared away faded leaves and nurtured the new growth. It was a dance of dedication, each action a testament to their deep connection with the garden and its rhythms. The two caretakers worked in comfortable silence, allowing the sounds of the morning, the soft chirping of birds and the gentle babbling of nearby streams, to fill the space. As the sun climbed higher, its rays piercing through the thinning mist, the garden slowly revealed its luminescent splendor. Tiny, delicate flowers emitted a soft internal glow, like tiny lanterns illuminating the pathways. Oren moved from flower to flower, collecting their dew with a silver bowl, each drop reflecting the emerging sunlight. The process was meticulous, a mindful ritual that slowed down the world around them, inviting a quiet contemplation into each moment. With every drop gathered, it felt like they were gathering the very essence of the garden's peaceful energy. Meanwhile, Sage moved with a different rhythm, their movements steady and deliberate. They checked each plant with a discerning eye, ensuring each one received the particular care it required. A gentle humming escaped their lips as they worked, a soft melodic tune that blended seamlessly with the sounds of nature. They touched each stem and leaf with respect, their hands moving with the wisdom of experience and a deep love for their craft. They knew that their tending was not just about maintaining the garden, but about preserving its history and the gentle energy that emanated from it. With each passing moment, the garden came to life, the soft colors and gentle sounds, weaving a tapestry of peace. The air was filled with a mix of sweet fragrances, lavender, earth, and the subtle hints of blooming flora, all of it melding into a soothing balm for the senses. The caretaker's work was rhythmic and mindful, their tasks mirroring the natural cycles of growth and decay, embodying an understanding of the interconnectedness of all living things. The dewdrops that had been collected glistened like tiny pearls within the silver bowl, each one a microcosm of the garden's soft light and gentle magic. As the morning matured, the Sunken Garden seemed to breathe a collective sigh of contentment. Oren paused in their collection, the silver bowl resting lightly on the palm of their hand, and inhaled the sweet morning air, closing their eyes to embrace the moment. Sage continued their work, the gentle snip of their pruning shears, a soft counterpoint to the rustling of the nearby trees, each movement full of purpose. They glanced over at Oren and shared a smile before returning to their tasks. In the Sunken Garden, time seemed to slow, each moment unfolding with deliberate and mindful awareness, offering a tranquil haven away from the hustle of the world. As they completed their morning tasks, the two caretakers knew that their day was just beginning. The garden's journey through each day was one of continuous observation, mindful steps, and soft nurturing. The gardens would show them its quiet beauty and gentle wisdom, and they, in return, would gently offer their tender care. They knew that the cycles of the garden mirrored those of their own lives, as they gently moved with it through each moment of the day. Chapter 2: Whispers in the Willow Grove. The gentle warmth of the morning sun bathed the Sunken Garden in a soft golden light. The mist, having long since dissipated, leaving behind a fresh, clean scent that mingled with the fragrant blooms. As Oren and Sage completed their morning dew collection and plant tending, they found themselves drawn towards a section of the garden. They rarely visited a secluded grove where a grand ancient willow tree stood sentinel. Its branches, draped with delicate silvery leaves, seemed to beckon them with a silent grace. Drawn by a sense of gentle curiosity, the two caretakers approached the willow grove with slow, deliberate steps. The ground beneath the tree was covered in soft, vibrant moss, its spongy texture a soothing balm for their bare feet. As they entered the grove, the air seemed to hush, the normal sounds of the garden fading into a distant hum. The leaves of the willow tree whispered secrets with each gentle breeze, their hushed tones creating a sense of calm and wonder. Oren, always drawn to the gentle secrets of the gardens, felt a magnetic pull to the tree. They found themselves sitting at the base of the ancient tree, its gnarled trunk a testament to centuries of quiet observation. Sage smoothed out the moss with their hands as if they were greeting a dear friend, while Oren touched the leaves with gentle fingertips as if reading a book written in a forgotten language. The branches formed a natural canopy overhead, dappling the sunlight and creating an intimate, peaceful space. They spent a few moments just listening to the soft murmur of the leaves, feeling their worries and cares simply drift away on the gentle breeze. As the morning progressed, Oren and Sage began their quiet tending to the grove. They discovered the pathways were damaged and begun mending them, using moss, smooth stones, and fallen leaves. Their movements were careful and precise, a dance of mindful restoration, with a quiet intention to preserve the beauty of this forgotten place. The sounds of their soft actions and rustling leaves were a soothing melody, adding to the peaceful atmosphere of the grove. Their intention was to invite more ease in the pathways, more space for the life of the garden. Throughout the afternoon, they continued their work with gentle dedication. They moved with slow, mindful steps, finding solace in each simple task. They laid smooth stones to create new pathways and filled them with soft moss to protect them. They collected fallen branches, mindful of each touch and each action. Their work was more than just repairs. It was a way of honoring the past, remembering the forgotten kings who once walked these paths, while also creating new space for the garden to grow and change. The willows seemed to sway with them, sharing its calm presence. As the sun reached its zenith, the two caretakers decided to take a pause, enjoying the quiet beauty of the willow grove. Sage gathered dried lavender and with a small fire created a delicate aroma that filled the grove. They moved with gentle awareness as they prepared the tea, enjoying the soft sounds of the fire. They poured 2 cups and enjoyed the warm aroma. The tea was more than just a refreshment. It was an invitation to stillness, a moment to slow down and find peace within. The soft steam rose gently as they shared a comfortable moment of silence. The air was filled with the delicate scent of lavender and the warm, earthy tones of moss, a combination that invited a sense of calm. As they drank their tea, Oren and Sage shared quiet stories and reflections, their voices soft and gentle. They spoke of the cycles of growth and decay, the interconnectedness of life, and the importance of finding peace in the present moment. The willow tree seemed to listen, its rustling leaves a gentle agreement to all that was spoken. Their time beneath the willow felt restorative and comforting. As the afternoon began to wane, a feeling of serene contentment settled upon the grove. The caretakers completed their work and gathered their tools, making sure the pathway was safe and inviting. As they walked away from the willow grove, they carried its gentle wisdom with them, a reminder of the power of quiet reflection and the soothing magic of the natural world. The whisper of the willow leaves seemed to follow them, a soft lullaby that promised peace and rest. They knew they would be back again, as if the willow had called them. Chapter 3. The Bloom of the Lunar Lily. As the sun began its descent, casting long, gentle shadows across the Sunken Garden, a different kind of magic began to awaken. The soft golden light that had bathed the garden during the day slowly gave way to a more ethereal, moonlit glow. The luminescent flora of the garden responded in kind, their soft internal light intensifying as twilight deepened. The air grew still, carrying only the quiet hum of nature, as if the entire garden was holding its breath in anticipation. Oren and Sage, having completed their afternoon tending and mindful wanderings, found themselves drawn toward a secluded alcove near the heart of the garden. Here, amidst a cluster of luminescent ferns and softly glowing moss, stood a rare lunar lily, its leaves yet to bloom. The flower was a tightly furled bud, its petals a soft pearlescent white with a hint of pale blue. It was a flower of myth and legend, said to bloom only under the light of the full moon, revealing the garden's true tranquility. The caretakers felt a quiet sense of anticipation for the beauty that was to come. As the moon began to rise, casting its silvery light across the garden, Oren and Sage settled near the lunar lily with quiet anticipation. They took up simple sitting positions, creating a small and peaceful circle for themselves. They spoke in soft whispers of the moon's influence on the garden, the delicate dance of light and shadow, the cycles of the earth and heavens, and the delicate balance of life and change. As they settled into the rhythm of the evening, a feeling of quiet joy filled their hearts. Their reflections felt meaningful and personal, as they explored their own journey of growth alongside the cycles of the garden. With the rising moon, the garden began to hum with a subtle energy. The air grew cooler, and the sounds of the night began to softly emerge, from the distant chirp of crickets to the gentle rustle of leaves. The caretakers remained still and observant, their attention entirely focused on the lunar lily. They could feel a subtle shift in the atmosphere, a quiet excitement building as the moon climbed higher, each step bringing the bloom closer. The two caretakers were patient, letting the natural rhythm of the garden unfold without interference, content to simply witness its gentle magic. As the full moon reached its peak, bathing the garden in its silvery light, a hush fell over the garden as the lunar lily began to bloom. The petals unfurled slowly, revealing the inner beauty of the flower in a soft, luminescent glow. The petals were of the softest blue, fading into pure white near its center, creating a beacon of tranquil light. The entire bloom seemed to hum with a quiet energy, its soft fragrance spreading through the garden. The fragrance was a blend of sweet earth, honeysuckle, and a hint of cool water, a soothing perfume that invited a sense of peace and serenity. Oren and Sage watched in quiet awe, their eyes reflecting the soft glow of the Lunar Lily. They were not merely observers, but active participants in the bloom, their own gentle energy resonating with the natural magic that was unfolding. They were both reminded of their own processes, their own cycles, and the changes that have shaped them into who they are now. They felt a deep connection to the flower, and in a way, a reflection of the garden. As they continued to observe, the soft glow of the lily spread to the nearby flora, creating a radiant display of beauty. They could each feel the gentle energy of the flower enter them. It moved gently, soft and light, and as the flower bloomed and the light grew stronger, they felt as if their own light grew brighter as well. The flower became a symbol of their own growth and progress, of their own beauty and tranquility. They continued their contemplation, their gaze lost in the luminescent glow and the soft fragrance. The two caretakers settled in, allowing the bloom to fill them. They could feel a shift within themselves, as if they too had reached a new stage of their own growth and transformation. They spent the rest of the night quietly observing the Lunar Lily, its soft glow and delicate scent a constant companion, inviting them and the listener into a state of deep relaxation and peace. The garden was quiet and serene, the perfect setting for peaceful slumber. Chapter 4. The Memory of the Sunstone. As the moon began its descent, its silvery light slowly fading, a soft golden hue began to spread through the Sunken Garden, heralding the approach of dawn. The Lunar Lily, still glowing with a gentle radiance, began to retract its petals, its soft light dimming as the new day approached. The garden seemed to sigh with contentment, preparing for another cycle of growth and change. Oren and Sage, their hearts full of the previous night's magic, began their day with a quiet sense of purpose. After tending to the needs of the garden with their typical soft pace and mindful attention, Oren and Sage found themselves drawn to the heart of the garden, an area they knew was the oldest and most secluded. They often felt drawn here by an unknown purpose, as if the land itself was trying to show them something. They moved with deliberate steps, each footfall falling softly onto the mossy pathways. They knew that something in the gardens was calling them today. It was a warm and gentle pull. As they reached the central area, they noticed a subtle shift in the energy of the space. The air felt warmer, carrying a soft golden glow that was not entirely the sun. Their eyes were then drawn towards a small stone nestled between the roots of an ancient fig tree, almost hidden by moss and fallen leaves. It was a smooth, round stone, glowing with a warm amber light. It pulsed with a soft energy that seemed to vibrate with the heart of the garden. It was a sunstone, an object of legend that had been mentioned in old stories, but never before discovered. With quiet reverence, Oren carefully reached out and touched the sunstone, their fingers tracing its smooth contours. The moment their skin made contact, they felt a warm, gentle energy surge through them, as if they were being bathed in the soft, comforting rays of the sun. They closed their eyes and let the warmth flow, a feeling of peace and understanding blossoming within them. Sage, in turn, reached out and touched the stone and felt the same surge of gentle warmth. They both shared a soft smile, knowing they were both experiencing a similar wonder. As they held the sunstone, Brief glimpses of the past flickered through their minds like soft visions. They saw the long-forgotten kings of Atheria, walking these very paths with laughter and quiet contemplation. They witnessed the kings caring for the garden with their own hands, whispering their dreams and hopes into the soil. They saw each king's deep connection to the garden, a love that echoed in every gentle step and mindful act. The visions were quick and fleeting, but filled with emotion. They felt a sense of connection to the past, as if they were now part of something bigger. Oren and Sage shared their visions, their voices soft and filled with wonder. They spoke of the king's love of the garden, their dedication to its care, and their belief in the interconnectedness of all life. They realized that their role as caretakers was not just about preserving the physical beauty of the garden, but about carrying on the legacy of the kings and their connection to the land. They were deeply grateful to be able to carry on this important tradition, and they were both humbled by the wisdom of the past. The Sunstone continued to emanate its warm, comforting energy as Oren and Sage sat quietly, holding it together. They reflected on the garden's gentle wisdom, the cycles of growth and decay, and the importance of living in harmony with nature. They spoke of the power of mindfulness and the beauty of finding peace within the simple acts of daily life. The garden felt alive and still, as if it was sharing its secrets with them, and by extension, with us. As the morning grew warmer, the caretakers knew it was time to return the Sunstone to its resting place. With slow, deliberate steps, they carefully placed the stone back between the roots of the ancient fig tree, their hearts full of a deep sense of peace. As they walked away, the warmth of the stone seemed to follow them, a gentle reminder of the rich history and the quiet magic of the Sunken Garden. They knew that their journey through the garden had brought them deeper into understanding and tranquility. Chapter 5: The Harmony of the Harvest. The golden light of late summer bathed the Sunken Garden in a warm, mellow glow. The air was filled with the sweet scent of ripening fruit and the gentle rustling of leaves, a harmonious melody that spoke of abundance and fulfillment. The cycle of growth had reached its peak, and the time had come for the caretakers to gather the fruits of their labor, preparing for the next cycle of rest and renewal. Oren and Sage moved through the garden with a quiet sense of purpose, their footsteps as soft as the falling leaves. They gathered in the central clearing of the garden, where the fruit trees stood heavy with ripe offerings. Their baskets were made of woven reeds, light and sturdy, ready to be filled with the harvest. They began with the sun-kissed peaches, each one plucked with care and placed gently into the basket, their hands moving as if following a well-practiced dance. The movements were smooth and mindful, each fruit a reminder of the interconnectedness of their work and the natural cycles of the earth. The sounds were gentle, the soft pull of fruit and rustle of leaves filling the garden with a soothing melody. Next, they carefully collected the plump, sweet berries that grew along the garden's winding pathways. Their hands moved lightly, as if they were caressing each berry as they were added to the growing collection. They worked in silence, allowing their minds to drift and settle with each new addition. The gentle process allowed them to focus on their bodies, their breathing, and their connection to the world around them. Their attention to detail was mirrored in their intention for a gentle and peaceful moment. After their collection of fruits, they moved to the seed-bearing flowers. The flowers, now past their prime, were filled with life-giving seeds, each one a promise of new growth to come. They carefully collected the seed pods, placing them into separate baskets, each seed a future blossom. The collection of seeds was as purposeful and peaceful as any other action they made. They were not only collecting the promise of new life, but of continuing the work of the long-forgotten kings. As their work progressed, the baskets began to fill with the vibrant colors and fragrant aromas of the harvest. The air was sweet with ripe fruit and the warm, earthy scent of the garden. Oren and Sage paused in their work, taking a moment to appreciate the beauty and abundance that surrounded them. They shared a smile, knowing that they were not just harvesting the fruits of the garden, but also the fruits of their own dedication and care. They were connected to the garden and to each other, their partnership as important as the work itself. The remainder of the afternoon was spent organizing the harvested goods and laying them out to rest in a sheltered area, each offering a new possibility of life. They carefully dried herbs to use later, gently spreading each leaf on soft linen cloths. They neatly stored the seeds for the coming season, knowing that their work in the current season created the possibilities for the next. Their steps were slow and their intentions were mindful, as if all the energy they gave to their tasks flowed outward into the garden. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the garden, Oren and Sage completed their final task, a gentle clearing of the pathways. They brushed away fallen leaves and debris, preparing the garden for its time of rest. They moved with careful intention and deliberate effort. They knew that even though the garden would rest, they would remain vigilant, making sure they could gently care for its growth when the time was right. As the light faded, the Sunken Garden seemed to settle into a state of serene contentment. The caretakers had completed their harvest with intention and peace. As they walked away, the gentle hum of the garden seemed to lull them, offering a peaceful end to their day and a promise of restful sleep. They knew that they would return again to tend to the garden, just as the garden would return again and again to life. They knew that they were part of this important cycle, and their presence in the garden had created a true harmony.